Howdy folks, it's old J.R. Willis over here again. I guess I can do a little phone review today, because that's what I got on my mind. I got this iPhone 12 the other day, and it works pretty good, except one problem. I guess I'm gonna have to send the dang thing back, and it's really pissing me off, because I have, as you guys know, as I've said before, the internet sucks out here. So I never could get the stuff, like transfer all your information from one phone to the next. Usually that's a pretty quick process. You can do it in a few minutes. But of course, with the shitty internet out here in good old Arlington, Mississippi, I had to sit here and do each and everything manually. So just about the time I got all this shit uploaded, all these different apps and everything, just the essential stuff that I have to use, my bank app, email, all this YouTube and all this crapola. Well, about the time I got everything done, which took about 3 days, manually loading each thing and all the information, all your freaking passwords, blah, blah, freaking blah. I started realizing this weird sound. I really hadn't noticed it before because it's only on the speaker when you turn the speaker on. You turn the speaker on and you don't really notice it right off. If it's like music or something, you don't really notice it. It kind of covers itself up. But if you make a small sound, like if you hit something or tap on something, it sounds like you're taking a piece of PVC pipe and hitting it up against something. Or it sounds like one of those microphones when you were a kid. Those big plastic microphones with a spring in it. Sounds like you got one of those things. Tapping on it. It's got that, sounds like a spring reverb's what it sounds like. Or a slapback reverb if you know anything about that. That's exactly what it sounds like. And I'm sitting here thinking, well, it only does it when you turn the speaker on. So maybe I'll just deal with it, because you can still use your headphones and you don't hear it. When you record stuff, put it on YouTube or whatever, you don't hear it. You just hear it when you're listening through the speaker on the phone. But the point is, man, I paid all this money for this damn phone, and now it ain't working properly. So now I got to go through the process of returning and getting another one, doing all this crap over again. So my review of the iPhone 12 is it sucks. That's my review of it. And I started looking it up on Reddit and stuff, trying to see if other people had the same problem. And sure enough, yeah, other people have had the same problem. Speakers making a weird sound. Speakers having static. If you've had an iPhone 12 and you've had problems with it, let me know in the comments. Tell me about your experience with it and what you did. But, probably as bad as I hate to, today I'm probably going to start the process of returning the damn thing and do all this crap over again. I'll tell you, folks, technology is useful. It's so useful when it works. But when it don't work right, and which is most of the time, I spend so much time fooling with some annoying electronic crap. But that's the name of the game now, right? And everybody's talking about getting this damn, well, everybody ain't talking about it. They're just talking about how great, the advances are and how great it is that they coming out with all this Neuralink and all this crap. How great it's going to be and all that. Most people I know ain't talking about getting it. But this is early in development. Give it a few years. Give it 10 years from now and see. It'll start being more and more appealing. People be just like getting it, and it'll be working fine, not having no trouble. Everybody be like, man, that's a great idea. You ain't got to fool all these cell phones anymore. But just think about it. as aggravating as these damn phones always screwing up are, and then think about if you had that thing permanently implanted in your daggone skull and it starts all this nonsense screwing up, the battery screwing up. These damn batteries don't last a year anymore. And most people are so stupid, they take it up there to the shop. Let me retract that. I don't want to say stupid because probably some of you people do this very thing. I shouldn't say stupid. I guess I should say most people don't want to fool with it or don't have time to or just ain't inclined to do so. But most people take it to a cell phone repair shop, and I fell for that a couple of times. And they charged, and this was years ago, they charged like 40 to 60 bucks just to change the battery in it. Well, I pulled up a darn YouTube video, and it's a little fiddly, you know, because it's small and you got to be careful or you'll break something. But if you just take your time, you can order a little kit, or you can go to Walmart and buy the screwdriver set for $7, I believe. It's got all the different tips you need, and the only thing else you really need is some things to pry with, maybe a pair of tweezers, a guitar pick. Watch some YouTube videos on it. Changing the battery in a cell phone is aggravating, yeah. But you can order a battery on eBay for like 10 bucks, you know, as opposed to $40 to $50 to have it changed somewhere, and then you got to take it up there, you know, and wait for them to do it, come back and get it. It's a simple thing to do yourself, and that's another thing, you know, I was thinking about with this speaker issue on this phone. I done looked it up, watched the YouTube video. I could change the speaker in this phone if it was just a speaker. I've already updated the software to the newest version, which right now was like 17.1 or something. I put it on there last night, and surprisingly, it downloaded. It around here, I'm surprised it even downloaded the crap. But it did. It downloaded the software, so it was not a software problem, I don't think. Some kind of deal with the hardware. If it's the speaker itself or what. I look closely at this phone. It don't look like it's ever been worked on. Usually, if you look real close, you can tell if somebody's opened it up before. Usually. Unless they did a dang good job of it. But I don't know. I mean, since I just bought it, it's still under warranty. I might as well just return it. But man, I hate it. I got to delete everything off of it now. Send it back in the mail. Get a new phone. Go through all this all over again. It's a hassle. I'm getting so frustrated with this day and time. You buy stuff and it's basically just junk. They make everything as cheaply as they can possibly make it, you know. It's always got some kind of damn defect. It's just like, Jesus Christ, man. Well, technology's steadily advancing. I mean, you either get with it or you get left behind. This day and time, you know, I can't sit here and say that I would like to go back to the old days where you didn't even have a cell phone and you didn't even have, like, we wouldn't be making this video right now. We wouldn't be, you know, and I like stuff like that. I like YouTube. And so, you know, it's a love-hate relationship. And it'd be different if I was raised in the 1940s or 50s or whatever and never knew anything about it. But once you've had it, I mean, you can't hardly turn around and go back and sit there and say, oh, yeah, you'd like it. If I had infinite funds and didn't have to worry about ever doing anything, making any money or nothing like that, and I could just do whatever I wanted to do whenever I wanted to do it, I don't know, maybe I could live without technology. Maybe I could just, you know, do the whole homestead thing. But I'm, you know, and I've always, in the back of my head, I've got to worry about, you know, you got to keep making a living. You got to keep connecting with people. You got to keep selling yourself, you know. You are the product, you know. It's all about how you gonna do it, you know. So I got to keep on keeping on. I can't just go up and be a damn mountain man like old Jeremiah Johnson or whatever and run off into the mountains and disappear. I mean, I guess I could, but I doubt I'd like it. I don't know. This day and time, you know, I got family, I got responsibilities. I can't just take off, live in the middle of nowhere. I probably wouldn't like it no way. That's all romanticized. You know, we all think, oh, it'd be great. You know, it'd be great. Go to Alaska. Psh, man, it freeze your ass off up there. I hate cold weather. I mean, I don't mind a little bit of cold. This fall weather's great. But when it starts getting down pretty much below 30 degrees and everything starts tearing up and breaking outside, and you got to get out there and fix it because everything gets brittle when it gets cold and shit goes to breaking. You got to get out there. And I remember growing up as a kid, we had that old PVC plumbing, and this old house is up off the ground. In places it's nearly 3 feet high, in other places it's only like a foot high. But it's high enough that it gets cold up under. And that pipe would freeze damn near every winter. Me and Dad would be out there crawling around in the mud, freezing temperatures, you know, trying to fix a busted water pipe. I grew up doing that crap. I absolutely hated it. After I moved back down here, I had my cousin Jimmy Sullivan over there. Because I'd crawled under this house so much, I said, man, I'm sick of crawling under this house. I actually hired him to do it. And he went over there and put the PEX plumbing over there. And so far, so good. It didn't bust last year, so maybe it won't bust this time. We'll see what happens. I don't know. It expands, it flexes, and we had some pretty cold weather last year, so if it was going to bust, it probably would have. There's still a couple little places, like, for example, the water faucet outside for the water hose. I had to keep it wrapped real good because it's still PVC, and it could blow off. That whole section of pipe running from the meter to the house is PVC, but it's buried, so that helps. You know, the pieces going up into the house where the PEX connects to it, that's PVC. So one thing we did is that we pretty much have to do, and if we don't do it, even with that PEX plumbing, it's still an issue, is leave the water running. When the temperatures start going below 30, you gotta leave it running a little bit, just a little drip. You know, it may run the water bill up some, but it's a heck of a lot better than having to get out there and try to fix it. And once it freezes, man, if you say you have several 20-degree days in a row and it freezes, man, you can't get it thawed out. You just without water. And that's a pain in the ass. And we had that happen one time. We forgot recently. I think it might have been last year. Forgot to leave it running. And had to wait 2 days before it finally thawed out. It was a pain in the butt. So anyway, I don't know. On a positive note, cooler temperatures are bringing in our greens out there. You know, we planted turnip greens, mustard greens, and collard greens, and some kale. And all that's looking really good now that it's cooled off. Yeah, it's got a lot. The leaves the roots finally took hold, so it got a lot. The roots and all that's getting some water. You know, when I first planted, I made up, kind of mounded up the rows. You know, and it was real dry, and I kept having to water it. And it was really hard to get it take. Everything kept wilting real bad in the daytime. And that's one thing I've learned too. If it's still pretty hot in the daytime, they will wilt. But It's nothing to be too alarmed about. Uh, just keep watering them at night. In the evening is probably the best time, because then it really soaks down in there all night. And then, you know, you can water them in the morning too, is what I've been doing. Like early, like now, you know, around daylight. Go out there and do it before the sun gets up beating on it too much. But they doing real good. The weather's getting nice enough to maybe do a little hunting. Squirrel season open now, so hunting season is officially underway. The crappie should start to bite. I'm wanting to go do some crappie fishing somewhere. I may just go over to Burnside. You know, they sell them minnows up there at the co-op, and I may just pick up some of them and go over to Burnside. It's a full moon. Well, now it's beginning to wane. I started wanting to go during that full moon, but it seems to happen every time. You know, I aim to do it, and then for whatever reason I wind up not getting to, or just not doing it. It's always something, you know. You get wrapped up doing something else. So anyhow, but it's bright. I just went outside and it was like daylight out there, and it was like, I don't know what time it is now. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:56, almost 6 o'clock. So I went out there a while ago, and it was still dark, but man, the moon was still very bright. A lot of times fish bite at night when it's like that. But I need to go try to catch some crappie. I think I'm gonna try it over at Burnside Lake maybe, but we'll see what happens. Now the water's been down, so that's usually a good thing, you know, for especially the river. Now we may just go over to Pearl River and just ease up along the bank and get in them holes, kind of like what we was doing with them grinnell the other day over at Nanawai. Because that water's been down, and them fish get in them holes, you know, makes them a little easier to find. And them crappie, man, they ought to go to biting, because the weather is beginning to cool off. Our air conditioner was crapping out on us, so we just pulled it out of the window, and we just using a window fan right now, because it's going to start getting colder anyway. I didn't see no use in buying one right now. I can probably get a good deal on one this winter, and I might could even fix that one. But the weather's cool enough that with that window fan, I'm sitting in here right now, and it's actually kind of cool in here. It feels like you've had the air conditioner blaring all night. So it's definitely cooling off. It ought to be some good fishing. But I'm going to try to get a little squirrel hunt together. Nikki ain't never done that before, and I think I'm going to let her do the shooting. I'll just go. That'll be fun. Get a chance a little something. I love eating. And they make a good stew also. I like them fried, and I like them in a stew. And if we do that, we'll make a little video of it. We'll see how it turns out. But it's Sunday, so we'll be here in a little while. We'll get up and go up there to church up there at Macedonia. So it'll be a little, I won't be doing it today. Maybe tomorrow. I've got to check his calendar. We've got some appointments coming up, I know, this month. Mom's got to go to the eye doctor in Jackson someday. Now, I might could take this phone down there, because they probably have an Apple store in Jackson. They certainly ain't got one in Philadelphia, Mississippi. You know, we doing good to have Walmart and Dollar General like everywhere else, you know. But they probably got a store like that at Jackson. We might could take it down there and let them have a look at it before I send it back. But I don't know, it'd probably be easier to just send the darn thing back tomorrow, really. That Monday, I could get online today and put in, you know, that it's screwed up, send it back in the mail tomorrow. But anyhow, I've been blabbering about 20 minutes. It's about usual for me. I'm run out of things to say, and I'm gonna have to. Been drinking this coffee, so I'm gonna have to go in there and take a look at the bathroom, see if it's still doing all right. But anyhow, we'll see y'all next time. Don't forget, like I keep begging y'all to do, subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get some viewers on here, and might inspire me to make some more videos, something better. Give me some ideas. Something you want me to do, put it in the comments. Tell me about it. Give me some ideas. I'm just keeping myself occupied over here. See y'all next time.